Despite the bold warnings, these are not the tax equivalent of the detector vans which track down TV licence dodgers. They won't find any tax avoiders. They're just big adverts spelling out a government message. This is another way the coalition wants us to know they're getting tough, by deploying George Osborne and Danny Alexander to the Office of Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs and telling everyone how effective the crackdown is going to be.
It's not right that wealthy people or multinational companies avoid the taxes that are due. So that's why we're investing more money, and we're going to get billions of pounds back for the country, for the public, and that will help us pay off the deficit.
It follows on from the mauling that MPs gave big multinational companies with remarkably small tax bills. Last year, Starbucks paid no corporation tax despite UK sales of nearly £400 million. Google's UK unit had UK revenues of a similar amount and paid £6 million to the Treasury, while Amazon had a UK turnover of £207 million and paid just £1.8 million in tax. But these companies were not breaking any laws. So tax experts say it's a bit like the police being told to get tough on drivers who stick to the speed limit.
If there is stuff going on at the moment that's perfectly legal, that George Osborne and Danny Alexander think should be illegal, change the law. You don't actually enforce a clampdown on legal activity. So I think this is quite a lot of grandstanding, quite a lot of headline grabbing, but is not going to do the remotest thing to actually close the deficit.
Starbucks have said they will revise their tax affairs voluntarily, but not because they fear prosecution. They're responding to negative publicity, a bit like when the comedian Jimmy Carr, who coincidentally was once hired by Starbucks to advertise their wares, opted to withdraw from a legal tax avoidance scheme.
Hi, hello.
In their own way, the Treasury are also responding to public pressure to do something. They're hiring more inspectors to dig around.
With this extra money, HMRC will be able to invest more in specialist people who ensure that we get the right amount of money from wealthy people who might consider that they can avoid paying their taxes, from multinational businesses.
Politicians may wish there was more they could do, but in many cases there isn't.
I think there are things this government can do today and in the short term which would ensure that all these global companies actually only pay their fair share, and that fair share is based on the profits they make for the activity they undertake here.
There's a serious problem here, which is that European Union law actually says that you only need to have this one base across the EU. And the United Kingdom government cannot change that.
And that means companies can seek out the most advantageous tax rates in Europe. Starbucks chooses Holland for part of its accounting. But it's well aware that customers have plenty of alternative coffee shops to choose from, and an effective boycott could hurt it as much as a bigger tax bill. Ian Woods, Sky News.